Are you looking for some inspiration on how to use your 3-yard quilt patterns a little differently? We've got some great fun ideas coming up. Hi, it's Fran Morgan with Fabric Café, and today we have a great video. I know a lot of you have asked for us to show you different ways to use the 3-yard quilt patterns, and today we're going to step through lots of ideas for quick gifts and different things for home decor. So let's jump in and show you the first pattern we're going to use. This is our engagement pattern, and this is really a lot of fun, and it's great for Christmas too. So we have a fun little block here with a diamond and then just a simple block. Now we're going to be using this fun little diamond block to do some really fun things. So let's put it on the table, look at the fabric we're going to use, and step through those. So here we have our fabric that we're going to use. Now this quilt is going to look amazing with this fabric. We have this great mandala here, and it is going to go everywhere you see the orange. And this is a nice big block, so you'll get a nice peek of all of these fun different colors and mandalas. So I really like that. Now our number 2 fabric is a green. Lots of movement in this green. Really, really like that. And this green is going to go everywhere you see the white. And then our number 3 is a pink, and you can see how great that coordinates there. And it is going to go everywhere you see this dark blue here and in our diamond. Now let's look at this fabric and look at this pattern and come up with some great quick gift ideas for you. So we're going to focus first on our diamond block. So let's get the pattern. And of course our engagement pattern is from our Quilts on the Double book. And you can see right here how we have stepped through the block in the pattern. And we're going to be focusing on step 1. We're going to start by making some large coasters or like Mugrugs here. And what we have done here is used the 4 half square triangles using our fabric 3 and 2. And we've put them together just like we show in step 1 block B assembly. So we have completely made a step 1 of our block B. Now let me just come over here and show you how this is just like this. Now it does have our seam allowance on it, so it looks a little larger, but you can see that that's exactly the same. So we're going to make a step 1 of our block B. And then once we've put it together like this, what we're going to do is cut a piece of batting. Now this is a great way to use up some scrap batting as well. It is going to be the same size as your completed step 1 here. And then we're going to take our fabric number 3, because I have plenty of fabric in my kit to do this, or by all means you can use your scraps from your stash as well. We're going to cut this the same size as these 2 layers. And we're going to stack them just like we're stacking to make a quilt. And then we will move on and quilt this just like normal. I want to be clear, when you make your step 1 from block B, we are following all of the cut instructions exactly the same as you would if you're doing the pattern. Just don't cut them all, just cut enough for the Mugrugs that you want to make. So we have it here. We've layered our batting and our backing piece here. Now I would take this to my machine and I would probably just quilt in the ditch really simply. This is a fun, easy thing to do. And another thing that I like to do for quick quilting is I will take my machine and set the zigzag to the 0 length and just zigzag right here in place, and that's called a bar tack. And I would just bar tack that. That's a super easy way to quilt this and put this together. Then I would take the measurements from the book and cut 1 binding strip and just bind this. And that would give us a mug rug. So I think this would be cute. You can make quite a few from a 3-yard kit. And it would be really cute to make 3 or 4, tuck in a basket with a nice little mug and some hot cocoa mix. It'd be a fun gift for a teacher or even your hairdresser, anything like that. I think it would be really, really super. Now, what if you wanted to do something a little different and not Mugrugs? You could do the exact same block. And I've got some strips here. Now these are our border strips from the quilt pattern. You're going to cut them exactly as they're stated in the pattern. We're going to sew them to top and bottom. We're going to trim them. And then we're going to take the remainder of the strip and sew them to the sides, just like this. Okay. And then whenever that's all done, it would be a perfect size for a nice pot holder or a trivet or something like that. Of course, we're going to cut our backing and batting pieces a little bigger. You're going to quilt it on your machine or bar tack it, just like we did the mug rug. Make a couple of these, and these would be great with maybe some homemade cookies, a nice little gift for someone. I think it would be really fantastic. Okay, now what if we want to go a step further? Okay, so in this case, we can make a placemat. We're still using our 3-yard kit. We're still using our engagement pattern from the book Quilts on the Double, but we can make 4 of our block B, step 1, and we can just put them together. Now I did something a little different because we're going to have plenty of fabric in our 3-yard quilt kit. I made a block B step 1 using our number 1 fabric in the center. Just switch those up. That's a fun thing. You're going to have plenty of fabric to play, so you can change your positions just a little bit and just cut as you go so that you know that you have plenty. So if it were me, I would arrange my placemat this way. I'd put our fabric ones in the center of these 2. These are our fabrics 2 and 3. And then this is where you would put your flatware or anything on your plate. It would be really cute. Now, this would be a very nice size placemat. If you want to make it just a little bigger, you certainly could, just by once again cutting those border strips and adding them to the top, the bottom, and the sides. Now, of course, I have, the seam allowances are still on these, so once it's all put together, it's going to be a really nice size placemat. And I think this would look lovely on any table. And what a great gift for a family member. You would have plenty to do, a couple of placemats, and if you change up your fabric positions like I've done here, you would be able to make quite a few. So I think it would be a really, really fun gift and so quick and easy with just a 3-yard quilt pattern and a 3-yard kit. Now, let's look at that kit information. The name is Macrame Magic, and the number is 8022552. Now remember, whenever you purchase 3 kits, you get a book free, and we are using the engagement pattern, which is on the double book. So you can get that free with 3 kits, or buy 1 kit and you can choose a pattern. And in this case, we are going to be providing the gallery pattern as the free one. Now the gallery pattern is going to work equally as well for your Mugrugs, your potholders, and your placemat, so it could also be used exactly the same way. Now we have a great project next, and we are going to look at our Fascination quilt for Magic. And I love this quilt for this project. Can't wait to share it with you because this is a fun row quilt. And you can see how we have our nice blocks here and then our bold print here. Great pattern on its own and makes a lovely quilt, as you can see. But let's do something fun with it. So let's put it on the table. Now Fascination is a great pattern because it has this long strip built into the pattern here that really is a great place to put a beautiful large focus fabric. And we have this gorgeous floral here that is a larger print, lots of beautiful colors, and it is going to go everywhere you see this black print here. Now our number 2 is kind of this creamy, kind of peachy cream here, and it is going to go everywhere the star is and the border on this block. What a great companion. And then our number 3 is this yummy, yummy red. Now this red looks like cherry pie to me. I like that. And it picks up all the beautiful reds in our floral, and it will be on our border and in the centers here. So what we're going to do now that we have identified our fabric positions is we are going to take our row of blocks and we are going to put it into a table runner and show you how to do that. So let's start by looking at the pattern. So our Fascination pattern is from the Magic book, and whenever you look at the pattern, row A is just the 1 strip, so there's no diagram for that, just the measurements in our cutting instructions. Our row B uses blocks A and B, and our row C uses blocks A and B as well, just in a little bit different configuration. We are going to be focusing on making blocks A and B and building a row B assembly. And what we're going to be making is a table runner with that. So let me just grab that step out there and show you how this is going to work. Okay, I'm going to shift this fabric over just a little bit so I have some room to work so that you can see. Now I have here, block A is our star block and block B is our square block. So this is an A, a B, and an A. Now this is put together exactly the same way as you would put it together in the pattern. So all you're going to do is make your blocks A and B, and the diagrams are here. Then you're going to follow the row assembly B instructions to build the row. So very, very simple, very easy to do. Now what's really great is most of the Fabric Café patterns are built using blocks. So if you have a Fabric Café pattern, a 3-yard quilt, and you want to use a different pattern, you certainly can do that. Basically what we're doing is just making your blocks, alternating them, and putting them in a row, sewn together just like this. This is great inspiration, and I know that you can do it with lots of our patterns. So after we build our row B assembly, what I have done, now I have used the number 1 fabric, which is our focus fabric. I have cut a strip the same size as the outer border strip. And on our pattern that is labeled border number 1, I believe. Just follow the same measurements, and we're going to cut a couple of them, and we're going to put them on either side of our row here. Then we're going to trim the ends even. We're going to layer it with our batting and our backing fabric, just like we did on our mug rug and potholder. And then we can quilt it up on our machine. Now this is going to be a great table centerpiece that you can do. Of course, if you want to do a couple of extra blocks and make it a little longer, you certainly can. But I have another tip for you. So this would be a great gift for somebody, but I have something even more fun. I have made a couple of extra blocks. Now I'm just going to show you on one end, and you're going to repeat this on the other end. So you're going to have enough fabric in your 3-yard kit to do this. So we're just going to make 2 more extra square blocks, 2 more extra star blocks, and I should tell you which ones those are. I'm going to refer back to the pattern here. So this is our block A, this is our block B. We're just going to add 2 more to the end of our row here. We're going to repeat that again on the other side. Now this is going to make it extra long, so you can certainly cut your borders and make a longer table runner, or we can cut some wider pieces and we can make a nice decorative runner for the end of your bed. So let me grab those pieces. What I've done here is I've looked at my cutting instructions for our fabric number 1, and I have cut 4 row A's, the same measurement. I'm going to take them and I'm going to sew them end to end so they're long enough to do all of this. And you should have plenty of fabric in your kit to do this. So we're going to just lay it here, and then this will be sewn end to end so it's longer. Then we'll put this one on this side. Just open this up so that you can see. And as you can see, you were going to have these end to end. You're going to trim them even on the sides, and then you're going to finish it and quilt it just like we did on the other items. And this is going to make a great bed runner for someone. Be fun in holiday fabrics, so you can switch those out for the holidays. It would also be great as a gift, matching the fabric to someone's decor or something like that. And it's going to add such a neat twist to your repertoire, and hopefully inspire you to do some more projects like this. And our kit information on this gorgeous floral here is called Autumn Bouquet, and the number is 8022551. We have used our Fascination pattern from the book The Magic of 3-Yard Quilts, and the alternate pattern that you'll get with a single kit purchase is Happy Go Lucky. So our next project is super fun. You're gonna love this as much as I do. Let's check out the quilt. Now this is our Evergreen quilt from Make It Christmas, and this just has the fun little tree here and our 9 patch, and we're going to make this into a pillow cover. Let's show you how. Okay, let's start out by looking at the fabric that we're going to use. So what we're going to do is we are going to use the red here as our #1 fabric. And the #1 fabric will go everywhere you see the tree fabric here and on the border of the quilts. Now our #2 fabric is our background. It goes here and then in our half square triangles behind the tree. And our #3 fabric is this great black. Now all of these have a little sparkle of metallic and I kind of like that. So, and this just all looks so great together. Just love it. So #3 is going to go everywhere you see the green in our 9 patch and on the border. So those are our fabric positions. Now let's look at our project and see how this works. So let me move this over here. And we're going to start with our pattern. So in our Make It Christmas book, our Evergreen pattern will of course step through the cutting, and we are going to be making 1 block A for the top of our pillow. And you're going to cut everything exactly as it's stated and completely make that block. So I'm going to pull that over so you can see. So here is our block A, and as you can see, it looks darling in this red with the little gold stars in the background. It almost looks like snow in the background. Love that. So then the next thing we are going to do, let me pull these over, is we are going to look at our border cutting. So we're going to add borders to this block here just like we would add borders to a quilt. So we're going to go back to our pattern and refer to our border 1 and our border 2, and we're going to cut strips exactly the same size. So I've got some here that are pre-cut, and I'm going to start and I'm going to sew the border #1 strips on the top and bottom and cut them to size. And then I'm going to overlap these just a little bit because they do still have the seam allowances on them. And then I'm going to take the same strip, just like you add a border to a quilt, and put these on the sides. And then you're going to trim them even so that you have your square here. Now we're going to do our border #2. It's basically done exactly the same way. Cut your border strip according to the pattern, and then we are going to add it. And I've got a full strip here, so I'm just going to kind of do a little trick and fold it around so that you can see how darling that's going to be. Now the same thing, we add them to the top and bottom, cut them even, add them to the sides. And these are the exact same width as the border instructions state. Now as you can see, this is coming together darling, but I have something even better to show you. Our actual finished pillow. Is this not absolutely darling? Now what's really cool about this is you can use any Fabric Cafe pattern to do this. And I'm going to tell you how, even in more detail. You're going to go to our website and you're going to visit our free goodies tab. And on the free goodies tab, we have complete instructions on how to finish your pillow. Now you're going to need your 3-yard quilt pattern, whichever one you choose, and then follow the directions on making the block, cutting your borders, and then these instructions will tell you how to finish, including how to do the overlap envelope style pillow on the back. It's going to tell you all about that. It's going to also go through and tell you exactly what size pillow form will be best for your pillow once you finish it. Now what's really great about pillow covers, and I know that I do this in my house, is that you take them on and off. That allows you to wash them. It also allows you to change them according to the seasons without buying a whole new pillow. You can just take the form out and switch them out, and it's really great. Now, I love this one. I want this one for my sofa for my Christmas season this year, and I think it will be absolutely darling. I think these would be great gifts. Just include the pillow form with it, and then these would be just darling on a sofa, on a bed, on your favorite cozy chair when you watch TV. So what a super gift, and don't forget to download your free goodie sheet. Now let's look at the kit information on this one. This is called Classy Christmas. The number is 8022549. The pattern is Evergreen from our Make It Christmas book, and our alternate pattern that we're recommending is Christmas Forest. Our next project, and another great idea to do, is just to do a casing for a quilt and hang it on the wall. So we're going to look at a quilt now that would be gorgeous on the wall. This is our Freedom pattern, and this is such a beautiful pattern. We have a great starburst here with all of our half square triangle friendship stars put together, and then the stripes, and I can really see this displayed on the wall. So let me step through how you're going to do that. Let's put this on the table. Now, starting out, our Freedom fabric, and this fabric is just gorgeous and I love it. And I actually like it too because it has a little bit of a feminine flair to it, which I think is cool for a lot of our ladies in the military that also would love to have a patriotic quilt. So our fabric number 1 has all of the beautiful florals here with our flags, and that's going to go in our stars and our half square triangles as well as our stripes. Then our number 2 fabric, just a wonderful beige, a nice textural print, tone on tone, will be our background of our stars and in our stripes. And then our number 3 fabric is this great blue with the stars on it that's going to pick up all the blue in the flag. And then it is going to be in our stars here as well as on our border. Now this quilt would be a gorgeous one to hang on the wall, and so we want to do a hanging sleeve because that helps support the weight of the quilt and preserve the quilt. So let me set this over to the side and show you how to do that. Now, before we get too far down the road on our hanging sleeve, let me just mention we also have a free goodie sheet on this, and this is complete instructions on how to do a hanging sleeve for a quilt, regardless of the size of the quilt. It will step through that. Now, it's on our Fabric Café website, fabriccafe.com. Just go to the free goodies tab and select the Make a Quilt Hanging Sleeve. So in this case, we are going to choose the fabric that we want to make our hanging sleeve from. Now, in this case, I have chosen to coordinate my hanging sleeve fabric with the backing fabric on my quilt. Now, this is a really fun fabric. Now, this is actually available on our website under the Fabric by the Yard tab. Really love this. It is not one of our backings, but you certainly could purchase it from the Fabric by the Yard site. So I have coordinated this. I like to do that because it kind of makes the hanging sleeve invisible once it's done. Okay, so we've cut our piece of fabric. Now this is cut 8 inches wide, and the first thing you want to do whenever you are making the hanging sleeve is trim off your selvage here, and then you're going to actually fold this in 1/4 inch and another 1/4 inch, and you're going to top stitch this. That way you've got a nice finished edge on the ends. You're going to repeat that process on the other end. Once you've done that, we are going to sew this, fold this right sides together, and sew all along this edge here. Then we're going to turn the tube. And whenever you turn the tube, you want to press it so that the seam is in the center back of the hanging sleeve. So here we have a nice turned under edge here. We have our seam pressed to the back. So the side that you see is nice and clean. Now the other thing we're going to do, and I'm just going to kind of shift this a little bit so I can show you. Now on this quilt, we do not have a hanging sleeve at all. So if we were to add one, what we're going to do is we're going to take this all the way to the edge. We're going to hand stitch it down along this top edge, and you want to hand stitch it down on this edge. Now, if you want to add just a little bit of give in here and pin it so that this has a little bit of give so that it doesn't add a bulk when you put a rod in it, that's also a really good tip. So this should go all the way to the other edge at the same size. So when you measure, keep that in mind. So putting this quilt on the wall, adding that hanging sleeve, it's a very, very simple process to do. And of course, we've got those complete instructions on our free goodies tab at fabriccafe.com. Now let's look at this fabric. This is our Liberty Garden fabric. That is the name of the kit. The number is 8022550. This is our Freedom pattern, and whenever you purchase the kit, you will receive the Freedom pattern for free. Now, this was a lot of fun projects. I hope that you got some great inspiration from it. And if you are not able to do a quick project like this with any of your 3-yard patterns or kits, we also have some great book bundles. We have 3 book bundles and 6 book bundles that would be a great gift for a quilter friend. Also, we have finished quilts on our website, fabriccafe.com, so be sure and check those out as well, because I think that would also be a fantastic gift. So appreciate you joining us, and let us know if you were inspired.